Hello and welcome to the first devlog of 2026. My name is Layla and along with my husband Jim, I work full-time on the Third Tourist, an open world stealth game. Jim and I have never made a game before. We both work full-time on this. We don't have a publisher and we live off our savings. So I just want to give you a little update. Now, I am going to try a new format of presenting videos because it's been, would you believe, 8 months since the last devlog, and I want to change that. Now, it's not entirely my fault that I haven't done a devlog in so long. Last autumn or fall, if you're in the US, we were both struck with some ill health. Jim was in hospital for a week with stuff relating to kidney stones. And then I had pneumonia. Yay, happy times. We're both absolutely fine now and back to working our 60 to 70 hour weeks on the game. But it's great fun. And I want to share our progress with you. Now, I don't think you can fully appreciate progress until you look how far you've come. So I'm going to show you a build from May 2024 before I show you the latest build, just so you can see what it looked like way back when and what the game looks like now. So let's take a look. Here we are. We have some houses. They're all the same. The street lights are in. It's very flat. I think we could go this way and walk off the edge of the world, but I think this was a build just to test lots of houses and lots of lights. All of this was hand placed, and we can have a little look around. And there's not really much going on here. But it looks pretty enough. Let's come out of that one. All right, let's go take a look at the build from yesterday. Now, remember, this is still a work in progress, very much a work in progress, but it is in production. So let's go take a look. All right, so right now we are on the island, and the island is going to be our early access area. We're an open world. There is so much to do that we thought we'll have to limit the area. Now, the island is meant to be a little bit of an older area. So we've really leaned into that and everything is sort of Victoriana. Now you can see the town over there and the promenade, which you will recognize if you've watched earlier videos. Now this used to be a peninsula. It is now an island. You can just about see a bridge over there. If we just go a little bit earlier in the day, maybe that. Yes, we do have a full day night cycle. So there is the bridge. Let's take a walk down Bay Cliff Road. That's where we are. Now this barrier is part of the unlocking zone mechanism. Actually, if I bring up my trusty, not a spyglass, you can see through the spyglass that there is a ley line. This is just plonked in at the moment, and eventually you will be unlocking these ley lines via devices like this one here. Okay, so let me put that away and then we'll carry on. Don't worry about her. She hasn't got her instructions yet. I'm still very much working on all the HTN, hierarchical task network, which is a form of AI for all of the agents in the game. So if we walk down here, you can see that we have these beautiful Gothic mansions all the way down Bay Cliff Road. And I'm just going to run down here a little ways. We've got lots of paths around the place. I'm not the smoothest of controller wielders, so I'm doing my best. And we'll keep going. So the early access can include all of this. Now, being an open world, we actually need to stream stuff. We did try various different ways early on in the game. Let me look at my notes. What did we use? Like an addressables prefab loading system. That wasn't great. So last year we bit the bullet and spent about 8 weeks installing an ECS system. Now that is a Unity thing. It's called the Entity Component System, and it's a way of streaming in all the meshes, that's all like the buildings and things in the world, in a very memory efficient way. Now it's quite a difficult thing to do, especially with no prior experience. The documentation is in the form of a demo project. So we had to go through that demo project and try and figure everything out. And it did take us working together for about 8 weeks. The number of times we nearly rage quit, I'd rather not say, but we got it working, and it does make it super efficient. So let's carry on along here. Actually, we can go, oh no, we're going to go up through the grounds of the old chapel. So if we come up here, I might make it a little bit brighter. There we go. So you can see a little bit more. If we'll come up here, we can come up into the old chapel. Now that house over there that you can see between the mausoleums is the house that Bryce, our protagonist, inherits from her Aunt Iris. You will have seen that house, I think, in older videos, but it will be having a revamp because it looks kind of teeny tiny with all the rest of the houses on the street. So we need to give that a bit of a reboot. That over there is Eliza. I don't know what she's doing. She is the lighthouse keeper. The lighthouse is over ahead of us in that direction. We can go have a look at that in a minute. But let's go check out the old chapel. So if we come in here, oh, it's quite dark. So it does have a hole in the roof, and Eliza is doing a fundraiser for that. But let's have a little look around. And I think we can go down into the cistern underneath. Let's go down here. Let me turn off my torch. There we go. So the lighting down here took quite a while to get. Just lighting has always been the bane of our software development lives, but we've got it nailed down here now. I love this system down here. So we can come back out and just remember what the game looked like a little while ago, okay? There was a flat surface with some houses plonked down. If we come back out, we can come round. And I think if we head through the tombstones, we can get over to this road here, and we can go round to the lighthouse. We have got a lighthouse beam. Now, another thing that I've been working on, so Jim has been working on doing all of the buildings. I thought there was an entrance in here, maybe there isn't. And I have been working on things like the menu for quite some time and the AI systems. So if we have a quick hand at the menus, we've got these ones. These are not the final ones, but we have all the settings coming in, all of the things like that. We also have the inventory that you can pick up stuff. It's going to be a little bit of an inventory management thing. You can pick up items, rotate, very Resident Evil 4 style. We'll have resources, and then we have important items, which is like your keys and things like that. So we already have the mansion front door key and all those sorts of things. What else do we have? We have the phone system. So we can get messages. We don't have any messages yet. We have the tourism app. So this is going to allow you to go around. You have to find these areas and take photos. They might help you discover some of the clues to the overall area. And then we have the journal as well. So that's all coming along. Now, if we come back down here, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we need to do now. There is sneaking, hiding in wardrobes, hiding under beds, eavesdropping, all your usual stealth mechanics. And we have crafting. Oh yeah, let's go have a look at that. We've got our crafting table here. It's plonked outside just for development purposes. So we don't actually have any ingredients in the at the moment, but this would be where we would do some crafting. This is Aunt Iris. She is a little bit broken at the moment, but we can chat to her. She's an old model. We won't be using that model. She's a placeholder. That's what I'm currently working on right now, fixing her. And if we pop into the house, we have other things like the Intel board. Might need the light on in here. There we go. We've got the Intel board, and we don't know anything yet, but that will come. And I think that's kind of it for the moment. Saving is done at telephones, so we can save the game there. And yeah, this is very much under construction at the moment, hence why we have like this abyss falling away underneath the house that won't be there in the end. Okay, so that's a really good tour of the game. Let me show you now the overview. Okay, so this is inside the Unity editor, and you can see this is our world. It's even bigger than that. It goes back here. And all of this will hopefully get unlocked as we progress through production. Now, I mentioned that the early access is going to be restricted to this island over here. And that means that we can make it a really rich story environment, and it will feel like it's well realized. If we had the entire world open for early access, I think it would feel a little bit too empty, and would also be a lot of work for Jim and I to populate it and make it feel alive. So we're just putting the town, the promenade, the marina, the docks, the sort of countryside areas just on hold whilst we focus on the island. So here, this is where we started our walkabout. This is the old chapel round here, just at the south. Over here is the lighthouse, and then we've got the land that Bryce inherits in the house, and then we've got the streets down here. Now, there's lots of stuff that I didn't show you, but a lot of the time spent in game development, which I never realized when I started this 2 years ago, was making tools. So we have a lot of tools. One of them is this one here. Now, remember I spoke about the ECS, the Entity Component System. Now we need tools to make everything that's going to use. So we have all this like regenerate matrices, regenerate that. And then we can flush all of the prefabs in the world. We can set them to original, and then we have all these generated high. The generated meshes are where we combine all of the meshes into larger, more efficient meshes, and we also do some decimation on that. So if I set all generated high, it will take a few moments. It also makes things more performant in the editor if you can just get rid of everything. So let's see, there we go. So now you can see that we've got all the buildings in place. We've got a little town over here and a little bit of a fishing quay area here with a little bit of water. Another tool that we have is the one to visualize all the intel systems. So a big part of the game is sneaking around and looking for potential hosts that are hosting our demon overlords, lieutenants. If we have a look at what that looks like, we can see here, if I just lock that in up here. So we have all of these nodes in the graph, and we can see who the potential hosts are, the locations, all of these rumors, as we call them. They're the clues and the information that you as the player will need to uncover to figure out who is the actual host. On that path as well, it is all procedural. Each playthrough, a different host will be there, even different demons as well. So I've made it almost very rogue-like, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure if that's the precise definition of a roguelike, but it will be different every playthrough. So we're trying to keep it nice and fresh, bring in some replayability. So all of the sort of clue systems will be procedural. Okay, well, that's quite a lot of recording. So I meant this to be a short video. I'm hoping to do more frequent videos where I'll go more in depth into each of these things, maybe give you more tours of certain areas. So do let me know what you would like to see in those videos. Now, the biggest thing you can do for us is to go and wishlist the Third Tourist on Steam. If you want to help support us in our development, we do have a Patreon page. I'll put links to everything in the description below. If you want to stay up to date and see when I next publish a video, which I'm hoping will be next week, please, I hope it will be next week. I'm going to try really hard. You could subscribe to the channel. And for now, thank you so much for watching. Pop any questions you have in the comments below, and I will see you very soon.